This is a shameless plug. Before we get started, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe for more content. I love you all. What's going on, Believers? Guys, Saitama has finally released Saitamask. It's working, and the price is now going to the moon. And what? It's not going to the moon? Oh. Well, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways.
All right, guys, it's been about 12 hours since Saitamask has been released, and the price is, it could be better. There was a low last night of $14.55 as it was starting to happen. Then we got this big notification right here. People started to buy in, went up to 1900, and now it's down overall, even though the trend has continued to the upside because the Chad Bros are still out, and they are still not happy with the Saitama developers who, it's March, so we're going to have to deal with that for a little while. So if you're happy that Saitamask is out, then that's a great thing. If you are swapping already and you are making trades, that's a great thing because you're going to start seeing some of that hyper burn that they've been talking about for a long period of time. But it is going to take a little while for the sentiment to change because there have been so many people who have just gotten absolutely wrecked at the amount of time that this has taken that they are just going to get out. So the road is going to be a bumpy one, but we have finally reached the point where things are moving in a positive direction. Now, the price action may not continue in that positive direction for a sustained period of time. Don't be discouraged because this has a long fall from grace, as the story may be. So, we're going to have a lot of resistance, especially if you look here at 1800, because a lot of people are buying these dips right here, and as soon as it's getting up to 1800 or so, they're selling it off because they know that everybody else is selling it off. The next floor comes in right around 2100, so we're not going up very far before we're going to have another big fight, and it's just going to keep going. It's going to be a bloodbath the entire way up. But the good news is Saitamask has been released, and at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time today, Saita Realty will be launching. Now, is Saita Realty a smart play? I don't know that it's the smart play, but I know I'm going to make a play on it and see what happens, because why not? Moving on. All right, guys, Saitamask is out. Boneheaded forced errors have been happening for months, but now is the opportunity for us to move on from the disaster that has been this launch and start to move to the upside. Wouldn't it be great to just get a good sentiment? Remember, all of us that are on YouTube, all of us that are giving you news every day, all of us have been waiting and waiting and waiting patiently for this to happen. And you can tell us all day long, well, if you just have a little bit more patience, then good things are going to happen. Yeah, good things are happening to tons of other projects, and we're covering tons of other good projects. Your perspective is wrong. Our perspective is all of the tokens that are out here. It's not just Saitama, and I know that most people would like it to be, but the end result is this. If you had cashed out in November and taken your profits at that 1,698 number, then you would have made a good amount of money. If you got in at that point, you probably wouldn't have made anything, but you still have your bag. And then you could have used that bag for the last 4 months, for the last 4 months to make as much money as you possibly could, so that when this day right here actually arrived, then guess what? You could buy in right now and you could shoot this thing to the moon. There wouldn't be any bad sentiment because we wouldn't have given out bogus dates. We wouldn't have done anything. There's a lot of things that would have changed. This would have been a lot better. So you can be happy that this is out. You can be sad that you missed out on all the opportunities that you missed out on because you invested in Saitama and you trusted the process and they burned you on the process. And you might not like to hear that, but they did burn a lot of investors on this process. So don't look at me. I'm the messenger. I'm just the one that's telling you that if you had been in Volt instead of Saitama from whatever point on, then you would have, what, 100x by this point, and you'd be sitting at maybe getting ready to go to 1,000x. So, all of these things should not fall on deaf ears. You should understand they wrecked your opportunity during that last 4-month window by putting you in a huge loss. So we need to remember that, and we need to remember that at the end of all of this, we are now past it, and hopefully great things will continue to happen with this just being the start of those great things. But let's temper it for at least a couple of days before we get too excited, because we need to see it function for a few days. We need to see some new things happen, like Cider Realty. We need to move beyond, and we're not beyond yet, but we will be in a couple of days. It's not financial advice. Take your profits on the way up this time. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. And remember, I'm always right.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining.